Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we take you through the top trending stories of what's happening in and around this beautiful city. Today's top stories are: this brutal attack on a Maltese comes as a reminder to keep your dogs on leash in public spaces at all times.
And the UAE joins the top most powerful countries list.
We'll also talk about Dubai flights have been delayed or cancelled due to poor weather conditions.
And Fauzia, the one and only, is coming to Dubai and she's bringing the heat.
That is exciting. So Shahir sat down with Fauzia and you're going to watch the entire interview after we finish the news updates.
I love her.
But let's talk about the elephant in the room first.
What elephant? What are you talking about?
Or should I say the big birds in the room first?
Well, they're tiny birds. I know what you're getting at.
What is this look? This is the most, I think, the office the world has ever seen Shahir dress up.
Well, no, I think you're shocked because I took a shower today. I think that's what's going on.
That too?
I'm kidding.
That adds to the shock factor.
Well, why are you so shocked? I'm going to a premiere. So I was like, okay, get dressed now as opposed to getting dressed later. Do you like the birds?
You look great. It's just like, you know, it's very unique. It's a unique look. This choker necklace of yours.
Is it a shock to the system?
It's a shock. It's a good shock to the system.
Well, it's a very, very expensive necklace. So let me be.
How much?
Like too much. More than I should have paid for birds that keep flipping.
200.
200?
More.
200? Yeah.
More than 200.
Yeah, it's avant-garde D squared. Show some self-respect, Simran.
But the birds keep flipping. It's not even staying in position.
So not worth it. Like, it's poking my skin. The birds aren't staying in position. Like, with all the money I spent, could they not think to like have the birds on both sides? That's what's upsetting me.
No, but then it would hurt you if it was on the other side as well, right?
It
because
hurts
it needs to
already.
make the other side like flat.
It hurts already. Like, it's a, yeah. What was the most you spent on an item of clothing?
I spent a lot on clothes, but let's talk about, are designer items really worth it? Because I know there are loads of times I bought something from a really expensive, fancy store. And then the same thing you get in, like, you know, maybe from 21 or Zara or Bershka or Pull & Bear.
You take that back. No, you don't get the same thing.
No, like the same designs, like a
well,
similar
yeah, the design, but like you're also paying for the amount of time it took to make it, the materials, the class that comes along with it, the reputation.
I feel like it's how you carry your clothes. Like, you should wear the clothes shouldn't wear you.
Yeah, agreed. That's so true. But I also think it's better to look good than to feel good.
What? It's better to look good than to feel good, but you look good to feel good.
No, they're not mutually exclusive in any way.
Okay, but my point is, I feel like designer wear isn't always the best wear.
Like, look at this necklace. It's so not worth it. But like, I feel like with women, you have bags. That's like your thing.
Bags.
Right?
Yeah, bags are different. Shoes and bags are different.
You're paying for like the leather, which you might have.
Faux leather.
Yeah, if you have issues with it, you specifically, you're paying for the quality. It always comes down to the quality and the amount of time spent on it.
I agree with the handbags. I agree with the shoes. Just the clothes, I feel like, because people now, we tend, like, you know, fast fashion and all of that. So it's like...
Yeah, that's true. You can get something really nice for significantly less than a designer item of clothing. But I feel like women have that, like your bags and shoes. But what do men have? Like belts and watches?
Watches.
That's not cool.
That's not cool?
The belts aren't, the watches are.
So you would go for like designer wear?
No,
like...
no, I agree. Accessories are the way to go.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna last, it's gonna outlive any item of clothing.
Exactly. So our verdict, not verdict, is it verdict?
Yes, our verdict.
Okay, conclusion of this conversation is that designer accessories Yes.
are the way to go forward.
But designer wear?
Ain't it?
Ain't
Not,
it?
it's going backwards.
Your styling tip by the stylist herself.
Wow.
Plot twist.
Whatever, I'll move forward.
She used to be a designer, apparently. I don't know.
A stylist, know the difference.
A stylist,
Show
sorry.
me some respect.
Oh, you're saying that stylists are level
More
higher?
renowned? No, but like, show the name and the role some respect.
Right. So she used to be a stylist for who we don't know.
That's me. You can check it out. I'm not going to say the name
LinkedIn?
of the magazine.
You can check it on LinkedIn.
Sure, go on LinkedIn and...
Because no one lies on LinkedIn, you know.
It's tough. I tried.
And then?
I'm kidding.
Okay.
I would never. My LinkedIn is the most reputable thing in relation to my career ever.
Because people usually catch LinkedIn lives.
Yeah, like there's no way, because then you're relating it to the old
Employer,
company. Yeah, and everyone can see it. Like that's on you if you like.
Yeah, and then in the company they talk about you. Like, this guy, he
Yeah.
thought he was the CEO.
Yeah, literally. Like you have your testimonials or whatever.
Yeah, imagine
That's
someone.
gonna get you.
Can you remove a bad testimonial?
I think you have to accept whether or not you want it on.
That makes it a little bit more better to use LinkedIn. We'll move on to our first story now. This brutal attack on a Maltese comes as a reminder to keep your dogs on leash in public spaces. Now, of course, there's nothing pet parents wouldn't do to protect and safeguard their fur babies from the horrors of the world. And raising and taking care of a pet comes with a bucket load of responsibilities, such as feeding them, grooming, vaccinating, taking them on daily walks, carrying poop bags everywhere you go.
Poop bags.
And of course, and water bowls, it's a task and how. And although hectic, it's more than rewarding when your dog showers you with unconditional love after you get home from a long, hectic, tiresome workday. But one vital pet owner duty is to keep your doggo on a leash in public spaces at all times. So Dubai residents were reminded of this as a result of a gut-wrenching attack on a Maltese earlier this weekend.
So basically, a little Maltese doggo named Tinkerbell was brutally attacked by a German Shepherd during her walk. And Tinkerbell's owner revealed in a post that the German Shepherd was not on a leash, and both the dog and its owner disappeared post the attack. Like, who does that?
So the post did go on to say, thankfully didn't get her throat because my son shielded her and got bitten too. This incident took place in Al Nada, and pet parents all over Dubai have been sharing this post as a reminder to keep their doggos on a leash when walking them outdoors. We cannot say this enough. And giving doggos the freedom to roam around is all well and good until someone gets hurt, because you may trust your furry friend not to cause any harm, but you definitely can't trust the temperaments of other dogs.
So here are quick reasons why you should always keep your dog beside you and or on a leash. So you don't want them to get stolen, first of all. There's less likelihood that they're being chased by something or after something. They can't get lost. And also basically the lessons of responsibility of
possibility of them getting into a fight, and also like they wouldn't be the cause of an accident or they wouldn't get into an accident. So it is so important that you keep your dogs on a leash, be it big dogs or small dogs, because either or, because dogs are so prone to fighting with each other and marking their territories and all of that. So, and this story is so horrific. Like, if you guys see the visuals beside us, this Maltese was really badly injured and just attacked by this German Shepherd. And it's definitely the German Shepherd, it's like you can't blame a dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like, it should have been on leash.
Yeah, like it's habitual for the dogs to do what they do, and just like certain things that animals do, you can't control it.
Yeah.
It's just like nature. And this happened to one of my best friends a really long time ago, and I think it was also a German Shepherd, and I don't know what the little ones are called. Like, it might be a Maltese too, I'm actually not sure. But the dog was like really badly injured, and they had to take it to a vet, and it was literally just the worst situation ever.
It's so scary for the owners and the pets and all of everyone involved in these situations. But I think it comes down to the owner at the end of the day, because dogs, anything can trigger animals in general, like even horses. Like, for example, when you go horse riding, like if a horse sees a scarf, it'll just go wild.
Yeah, true.
Anything can trigger animals. So it's your responsibility as the person owning and taking care of your pet, to make sure they're on leash, to make sure, you know, they're like they're taken care of, they're groomed and all those things, factors.
I think like it comes down to like people feeling comfortable that they can have their dogs like just roam around as they're going for a walk.
Yeah.
If you know your neighborhood, if you know what the situation is, like you're more comfortable, right? You're not necessarily going to think that you need to put them on a leash, but it's not about your dog.
Yeah.
It's about all the animals and surroundings and cars also.
Exactly.
Like my friend lost their dog to a car. Like a car ran over them. It was the most horrific thing ever. Like that's their dog gone, that's their baby gone.
Oh my god, that is so scary. Like when I had a Maltese, when I was with my parents, like I was walking the Maltese around my building and I just let it off the leash for a few seconds thinking I'll give it a bit of freedom. It runs away, crosses the street. Literally, I was gonna pass out. I was gonna pass out on the road.
Aww.
I literally called my mom running after my dog. I'm just like, what is happening? Like, Bon Bon has ran away.
Bon Bon? Your dog's name is Bon Bon. I love that.
Very cute name. And the other dog's called Cheesecake. And I was like running after Bon Bon, and Bon Bon wouldn't stop. I'm like, Bon Bon!
I can just imagine you running down the street. Bon Bon, where did you go?
I could see him. And then he stopped eventually to pee. I picked him up and never let him go. After that, I'm like, you are never ever getting off a leash.
Aw, good old Bon Bon. Moving on to our next story. So the UAE joins the top most powerful countries list. So this was published by the World Population Review, and the survey showcased the top 10 most powerful countries worldwide, where the UAE ranked 10th in the list, and it was its first time entry, whilst most countries were only switching places basically. And the UAE was the only entry with a GDP of 421 billion.
Whoa.
Billion.
Dollars?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it says dollars. Yeah, it is dollars.
Okay, so the US News and the World Report, in partnership with BAV Group and the Wharton School and of the University of Pennsylvania, ranks the world's most powerful countries annually. And in 2021, the report surveyed over 20,000 people across the globe.
And also, the survey asked to associate 80 different countries with 5 attributes, being military alliance, international alliance, political influence, and economic influence and leadership.
Oh, wow. So it is important to note that the survey took place in 2020 and the results were published in 2021. However, the results of the survey were of the most powerful countries in 2022. That is interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. I just want to see who all have joined in our lives, and if anyone has noticed Shahir calling survey.
I said surveys. Oh my, it's one attack after another with you, Simran.
No, I'm just kidding. Someone said they can't hear anything during our conversation. Is that legit?
On live?
Yeah.
It's not legit.
With no audio. Oh, see, they started their daily show with no guys, can y'all, I don't think Instagram can hear us.
Instagram also has been glitching a lot recently.
I'm so sorry about it, you guys. It's Instagram, not even us.
It's Instagram. Instagram's to blame. They've been doing this a lot. Like, there's been a few issues last week also with Instagram Live, but it's not from our end. Instagram's just been
Okay, hold on. We will fix it, Instagram.
Ali's in the room. Ah.
Oh.
Interesting.
Okay. Ali, you can speak to them.
He's making faces.
Okay, so all good. It was Instagram, not even us.
Yeah.
It was Instagram.
Yeah.
But it's
by
fixed
the
now.
looks of things, it was Instagram.
Can you guys hear us? She's showing him our comments. Mayar joined it. Thank you guys for.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate your feedback. But yeah, it was Instagram.
Can you hear us now? She's showing. That's his someone's like she's showing him the comments.
Thanks, Mayar. We appreciate you.
Mayar didn't do anything but join and just nicely, silently watching. Thanks for joining, Mayar.
Just watching our faces.
We need this, moral support.
But sorry, side note, has Instagram been acting up with you in general?
It has.
Right?
Honestly.
You can't even go on like the story section.
For me, it's like when I use Instagram and I'm using the front-facing camera and then I flip it later.
Yeah, that too.
What happens?
Like nothing. It freezes.
Right?
Right?
Same.
Like,
It glitches a lot.
Went for a takeover, had to record everything on my camera and then post it later, if it even worked.
You guys, is Instagram glitching for you all? Because it's really, really glitching for us.
Instagram,
let us know.
Get it together.
I am reading the comments. Mayar's like supporting from the shadows. We love we stand on Mayar.
We love Mayar. Mayar's been good.
Someone's like, whoa, blame it on Instagram.
It is, like, it's 100% factual.
It's Instagram, you guys.
It's Instagram, it's not us.
You think we would mess with the audio when you guys are watching?
Right?
All our favorites.
Speaking of bad conditions.
Speaking of bad conditions, let's talk about flights now. So Dubai flights were delayed or cancelled due to poor weather conditions over the weekend. Now the weather has been the kind that would shut out, that you would want to shut out the curtains because it's just not that pretty of a sight. And it's all sort of sand and dust, reducing the visibility that residents couldn't see the Burj Khalifa or the person standing right next to them because the sandstorms were so bad. And flights, of course, were affected by that. And over 10 flights were redirected. Some were postponed and some were just cancelled.
So, Dubai International Airport stated that 10 inbound flights were diverted to Dubai World Trade Center and other neighboring airports. Passengers have sent many complaints to Dubai airports to sort out the entire situation, and many reported long queues at check-in desks and transit desks as well, with little information as to what was happening, which can get very annoying for everyone.
Yeah, so, okay, you guys, before I read your comments, which is very interesting, I'll tell you guys about the story and what people were saying on Twitter. So there was a lot of frustration and people were just like really unhappy with, the lack of communication from the airlines. Exactly. So people were like, my flight has been cancelled to Dubai from Manchester until tomorrow due to a sandstorm. The communication from the Emirates Airlines staff is truly appalling. We are currently stood in an extremely long queue. No idea where this is going, where we're going. Nobody has bothered to tell us or update us. Absolutely incompetent.
Oh my God.
Almost 3 hours standing in connections desks, and hundreds of people are waiting like me, utter chaos. And people just went on to really voice their frustration.
Yeah, as they should on Twitter, especially. Yeah. Like, good old Twitter, people say what they want to say. But like, for me personally, I hate going to the airport, period. And for me to go and then there's a delay and to have like lack of communication, all airports do this. Like, it's not cool. But yeah, like even last night, random, I had a dream that I flew to London and forgot my luggage and had to go back. And just the entire situation, like I woke up in the worst mood ever. But
that was a dream for you. That's a reality for so many. Can you imagine?
And I was frustrated. So like, I can only imagine how annoying it can get when there's lack of communication. Like, if you were told like, hey, this is the situation, like the dust storm's doing its thing. Yeah. Like you'd be more accepting of like, oh yeah, this makes sense as to why the flight's delayed. But if you're standing there for 3 hours, like, do I get a Starbucks now or should I wait? Will the flight leave me?
Exactly. And there's so many, like when you're traveling, right? So many things are involved, like the people receiving you at the other end, at your destination. And so many factors are involved, like your hotel bookings, your meetings and all of that. So like not to update passengers, I would think is a little unorganized, but of course we know the summer period has been dicey for travel in general. Like as things are picking back up and like things are changing, and like Heathrow has been too full, I mean full in terms of capacity, and now Dubai had like this weather condition to deal with. So I think like everyone's just trying to get their reins back on again.
But also for those 10 flights that have been redirected or not the best situations, they were provided with hotels to stay in the meantime until everything was resolved. So there was that. Depends what hotel. But like there was some form of compensation or understanding or middle ground for them.
Okay, you guys, someone in the comments, Instagram,
the comments are funny.
So funny.
Like I'm trying so hard to hold it together. Someone said, have a nice day all. Thanks, Nikki Ahmed.
I'm getting a call. Now Instagram is glitching again because of this call. Who is calling this early in the morning? It's just not done.
Oh my God, Instagram's doing a thing.
What is happening? Okay, anyway, I'll tell you guys what else, right? So someone messaged, blame it on the sandstorm, blame the audio.
Someone said blame the new audio on the dog. Like my dog ate my homework situation. Good one.
I think we should just, we literally stopped working on Instagram now.
No way.
Who called and disrupted, honestly? No, we're frozen.
It literally is Instagram. Like, there's been a lot going on with Instagram.
Okay, see, people are joining.
Come on, Instagram. We asked for one thing.
This is us, right?
I know, it's literally Instagram glitching. Okay, well, that's it. Guys, up next, we have the interview that I had last week with Fawzia. She's coming next week. She's an icon. She's a legend. And she is very much the moment. She's got the voice of 1,000 angels, and she's gonna be here 21st of August at the Agenda. So, stay
Be there,
tuned.
be square, and catch the interview right after the short break.
And welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. And boy, do we have a public service announcement for you. Mark your calendars for August 21st, for there shall be a performance of a lifetime by our guest today at the Agenda, who's been killing it in the music scene ever since she entered. She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. And she's none other than the Moroccan-Canadian superstar that's got a voice of an angel, Fozia.
Hi! Oh my gosh, what a beautiful introduction. Thank you.
Of course. How are you today?
I'm so well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. Amazing. So excited to meet you.
Likewise.
Will this be the first time you come to Dubai?
I actually have been to Dubai. I went last year for the Chanel fashion show, and I also performed my song Minefields with John Legend. So it was our first in-person live performance, and it was such a cool moment. But I'm so excited to be back and to be performing all of my music finally.
Everyone's so hyped for you. Like, I've told the entire
Yay!
office. I've been playing your music throughout the office for ages now. Um, Oh, sorry, my bad.
No problem.
So you've been recording a bunch of music throughout the pandemic, right? What
Yeah.
role did that play, and what influences did it come with?
So over the pandemic, I had a lot of time to just obviously be at home and work on my music. And I feel like it was really cool in a way to connect with everybody online and see. It was really all about the music. And now that I'm finally performing again, it's just super surreal to be able to see everyone that's been listening to my music over these past few years and to see the audience that has built. And it honestly feels so surreal because a lot of this happened from home. And so to be going to all these different places in the world and seeing everyone's like beautiful smiles and just them singing back all of these words that I wrote, it just honestly feels like a dream.
Your music is crazy, and your career so far has been like skyrocketed since the very start. You've worked
Thank
with
you.
a bunch of major names. You mentioned that you worked with John Legend. What's the story behind it?
So I wrote and recorded Minefields over the, it was all virtual. And we were just thinking that it would be awesome to have a very powerful male vocalist on the track. And so we kind of compiled a wish list, and John was on there. And when you make a wish list, you don't really expect for it to come true, but literally 2 weeks later, his voice was sent back to us on the track. And hearing him harmonize with my vocals, it was honestly one of the top 5 craziest moments of my life. I remember just being like, what is going on? And so it was a very natural and gradual process. And yeah, then everything fell into place.
It's all about manifesting, like writing things down. Really,
For real, yeah.
I've started journaling in the morning, so hope things work out for me too. But your
For
music
sure.
is amazing. But what do you think catalyzed your success, especially in such an early age?
I honestly think I have so much more to go, but I think that everything so far has just been a lot of persistence and never being happy and grateful with what comes, but never being fully satisfied. And I think that's what really keeps you going. And an amazing team surrounding me. I could not do it without my team. They're really the foundation and the core of all of this. And just my love for music. It's a really difficult industry for sure. And I feel like my love for music is what keeps me going and what keeps me just fueled and excited for the next chapter. But yeah, a lot of hard work and determination for sure.
I'm so excited to see where it goes.
Thank
You
you.
shocked the world. I mentioned before that Tears of Gold, the strip version, is what got me through quarantine, what got me through London and the pandemic. But your music, there's a lot of influence from traditional Arabic music. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, so I was born in Morocco, but I moved to Canada at a very young age. But nonetheless, I still grew up in a very Moroccan household because both my parents were Moroccan. And I spoke Arabic at home and French at home. And I listened to a lot of Arabic music, just like everything from Arabic music to pop music. And so I feel like I was just like put, like my brain was put in a blender with all of these like influences and all of these things. And I think it just like stuck with me, and it's like really, really deeply rooted in who I am as an artist. And I think that now that I'm, making songs such as like RIP Love, and even in the past when I wasn't intentionally trying to mesh the two worlds together, it happened very naturally. And I'm really excited for this new chapter because I'm going for this pop Arabic sound, and I just think it's so natural and real to me. And I think that it's very fun. I love doing it.
Were you a bit scared to integrate the both together?
I was a little bit nervous because it was something that was, like I was saying, so real to me. And I was afraid of the reaction. And I just always want people to connect to my music. And it's crazy that this is what feels like they connected to the most. And that makes me so happy because that's honestly like what is very authentic to me.
Do you feel a sense of responsibility to represent the Arabic artists all around the world? Because there isn't necessarily a voice that represents the both together, especially at a stature as high as yours.
Oh, thank you. I honestly, like, that would be my dream, is to just leave my mark on music in that way, and to have paved more paved more of a way for this Arabic pop influence, because there's so many influences from all across the world, but I feel like this is the one that hasn't like fully been tapped into yet. And I think there's so much potential, and I'm seeing so many artists tap into that too, and it just makes me really excited and happy. And I feel like there's a whole world building for this like Arabic pop sound, and I love it so much. I think it's so special, especially because growing up I didn't have anyone to listen to that was doing that. There was definitely things that were close, but not exactly that. And so I just want to be that, that voice and that sound in music.
And you've done such an amazing job.
Thank you.
The Arab population feels like they do have a sound. And I agree, growing up, I never heard the both together. So it's been really amazing seeing the impact that you had.
Thank you.
It's amazing, of course. Do you, how would you say you expect the Arabic music scene to develop in the near future and in the foreseeable future?
I think that it's going to grow very quickly. I think it already is, especially with TikTok. I'm seeing a lot of like Arabic sounds like in US Canadian videos, and I think people love it, and I think people gravitate towards it. So I think it's only a matter of time that it becomes something that is more mainstream. And I'm really excited. I think that it's just a whole world to be discovered. And Arabic music is so fun. It's so passionate. It's so emotional, and to incorporate that with pop, I think is like the best thing ever. And so I'm really excited for everyone to hear it, and I hope it reaches as many ears as possible.
I agree. It is the best thing ever, 100%. Do you think TikTok plays a role in helping artists and artists that are trying to grow and have a larger audience?
Yes, I definitely think it does. I think that TikTok is what is driving music right now. I think that it plays a really, really, really big role in a lot of the songs that are more well known, because it's just what everybody is using, especially younger like audiences. And I think you can use it in a really good way. And then, some people might not like TikTok because of the way that it like is dominating the music industry. But I think that it can be very positive if you use it in a way that you're reaching people that you never would have before. Like, maybe without TikTok, a big chunk of my audience would have never heard my music before. And I think that's what makes it really special. So it's a really, really amazing tool and it's also very fun. I think it's a really fun app. and you can just have fun with it. So
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be that serious either, you know?
100%. Everyone's just themselves, really, and
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
agree. It does help a lot, and it does create an impact. But you were mentioning earlier that growing up, your family played a massive role in having you listen to Arabic music.
Yeah.
Who would you say were your influences growing up?
I would listen to a lot of Kulthum. Um, that was in Feiruz. Like those were the two
Yeah,
main ones of like the most amazing like vocalists.
every Arabic
But
household.
exactly. And yeah, I would say those were the two main ones for sure.
Do you think they're the ones that made you say, this is a career I want, this is who I want to be and the level I want to reach?
They were like a few of the many people, like they were the ones on like I would say the Arabic side, because they were just such amazing vocalists. And then I would say like there is definitely a lot of people in like the Western pop world that also influenced, you know, my love for music, and that were just super amazing, like Lady Gaga and Beyonce and Rihanna. Like growing up, those were the main three that I would listen to. And then later on, Ariana Grande. And so I think that it was like a good mixture of a bunch of random people.
Do you have any advice for people that are trying to follow the path that you've created, basically?
Um, I think that I would just say to be yourself and to be authentic. And I think that people know when you're being authentic and people can feel that. And that's always what's going to work best. Because if you're trying to act or be something that you're not, it's fleeting and you're going to get lost that way. So always follow your gut, trust your gut, and have fun with it. Not everything is going to be your biggest success, but it's always going to be a stepping stone. So keep that in mind and just keep your end goal in mind, because just don't look at your feet. Just look towards, like, you know, when you're driving and you're supposed to just look straight ahead and not look like this or look
Yeah,
down, because then you'll start
exactly.
swerving. So just look at your goal and keep going.
That's amazing advice. I never thought of it like that. So look at your feet and look at the end goal.
For
Um,
sure.
what would you say is next for you?
Oh my gosh. I'm working on a lot of music and I'm excited to dive into it. A lot of music that's more in the world of RIP Love and in the world of So Lie and Don't Tell Me I'm Pretty, and just like a lot of these kinds of tracks. I'm very excited for it. And of course, working on my debut album. So there's a lot of music coming.
Woo!
Yeah.
Can we have a date? When can we expect it? Or is it
Um,
still hush hush?
no date yet, but music hopefully coming soon, because I can't go long without releasing music. That's just I'm always like,
Neither
okay,
can we.
more.
Neither can we. I'm super excited. I'm also super excited for the concert. I'm taking a bunch of people with me.
Yay. I'm
Can't wait.
excited to see you.
100%. I'm so excited to see you. Um, what would you say was the scariest part in all this?
Like in my career or in like
In your career and just like diving into the deep end in general?
um I think the scariest part is not knowing what's going to happen, because I'm sure every artist would say like you really put your like everything into what you do, and sometimes it just doesn't, you know, go the way that you planned, and that's really terrifying, because you just never know what the outcome is going to be ever. Like you don't know, but you just got to keep going. Like life will take you wherever it wants to take you. So I think that's what's the scare. Like it still scares me to this day. I'm like, I don't know where this is going to end up. Like I still don't know, but I'm just kind of, you go into this blindly and you just trust the process and trust that it'll be good in the end.
It's only uphill from here. But I agree, the fear of the unknown scares people a lot, but it literally is about keeping going and like non-stop like The way I see it is the more lottery tickets you buy, the more chances you have at winning. So
Exactly.
that's my perspective towards it in general.
That
What
is such a good way of thinking. Yeah.
right, I came up with it myself.
I love it.
So what can people expect with your arrival at Dubai?
Um, expect a really, really fun time. I love, love performing, especially in, that area of the world because everybody's so passionate and so fun. So it's going to be a really great night. And performing almost all of my songs that have been released to date. And so I'm really excited about that. And yeah, just expect a fun time.
Woo! I can't wait. Do you have any rituals before a concert or before a performance in general?
Before I perform, I always like to just have my own space from everybody and just relax and calm down because performing would always like really stress me out. But like I feel like after this tour, I've definitely gotten more of the hang of it. And so I like to just take my time and take a breather, and then go right into it.
Do you have any like backstage like snacks that you like to have or like a candle be
Oh,
lit?
well, I've been drinking a lot of ginger, lemon, and honey. I feel like that's what's been saving me, especially with the back-to-back performances. I'll like wake up and I'm like, my voice is gone, but then I'll drink this like ginger, lemon, and honey. I'll drink like 2 cups of it, and then my voice will be magically back. And it really helps a lot with my voice, and like it helps with like keeping sickness away too. So
Exactly. My
yeah.
mom is such an advocate for it. She used to force me when I was a kid. She used to force me to drink it all the time. So I do think
Yeah.
it is magical. But thank you so much for joining us. It's been
Thank you
great.
for having me.
Super excited. I cannot wait to see you. 21st of August at the Agenda in
Yep.
Media City. I cannot wait to hear Tears of Gold. And thank you so much. You've been amazing and see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you so
having me.
much. Of course.
See y'all soon.
And that's it from the Lovin Dubai show. Stay tuned. We have more interviews coming up and we'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, not on Zoom, but in the live show. And that is it.